Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to Odyssey Racing League. We're just a couple minutes late to the start here, but qualifying has just started, and everyone is starting their first qualifying lap. So we are gonna see. Excuse me. We're gonna see how it goes. Excuse me. I'll try not to cough into the microphone again for you guys. Alright, this is round 2 of the Odyssey Premier Cup. This is our most prestigious championship that we have ever hosted, with a prize pool of $500, 250 of which going to the winner of the championship, and the following will be for P2 and P3. We have 16 cars this week. We do have a couple no-shows because there is a big event going on right now with the FIA that a lot of these drivers have gone to, but it's okay because we do have a drop round. So I think we had something like close to 30 last week, and we'll be expecting those types of numbers again for the next round next weekend. So now that we got that started, we are almost a quarter of the way into the qualifying session, and I'm going to be just flipping my window here for a second. I apologize for the frame rate. There's a little glitch on my end here, but it should be sorted out within the next couple minutes. I just want to announce who is leading the charge right now. Just gonna pull up the information. Alright, perfect. So right now, the winner, or the person in P1 in the championship right now is Mattia Zampidri, who right now is in 4th with almost a 10th behind P1. So very, very tight gap there in the first 4 drivers. Second is Eduardo Ruggiero, which I keep pronouncing his name wrong. Still hasn't told me how to pronounce it, so I'm going to do my best guess there. He's in P5 right now. And then William Pisano is in P3, but he's got P2 right now on the board. So pretty typical split. Jones just took P2 away, and Cardinale is now 3/10 ahead. So the gap actually just grew a little bit with a 32.6 as the pole sitters lap time. And I apologize for the way I'm speaking. I am recovering from a bit of a sore throat, so I've been popping hulls quite a lot. Anyone in the chat who is watching, I am aware the frame rate is a little bit low. My PC, I think, is on its last legs, and I'll have to be upgrading soon, but that will not be happening today. So we're just going to endure it and go through it. We have been watching Damian Konchik in that Mustang, but we will now navigate over to whoever is the most popular. So let me just find my mouse. There we go. And we're gonna bust out the auto cam and just make sure that works today. And it puts it on a parked car. We'll let it try and do its thing. Alright, there we go. Got Luke Lozama on screen. His best time is a 33.2. And now we're looking at Chase Jones from BSR. He's in P4 right now, 5/10 off of the pole sitter's time. Ooh, in P5 now. Someone else took that away from him. The autopilot is moving fairly fast. Let's slow that down a little bit. So it is a 20-minute quali followed by a 60-minute race. So it is going to be very competitive. These guys do have a pit window in the middle of the race. If I recall correctly, it is a 20-minute pit window where they have to get fuel. They do not have to change the tires, but they can if they want to. In a wet race, they probably won't. Instead, they probably would opt out of it, since the wet tires do not degrade too much in the wet conditions. Yeah, so their pit stops will be a fixed 25-second, specifically for refueling. Looking at William Pisano on the front there, 10th ahead of everyone else. And guys, let me know how the volumes are. Make sure the game is loud enough for you as well as the voice. If you need me to turn up the game or turn down the voice, just let me know. My microphone is a bit closer than it normally is, so I'm going to move it a little bit further away. Alright guys, last 11 minutes, just about halfway through the qualifying session. We do now have 17 cars on track. Looks like we do have an additional car out there now. A 17th person has joined the grid, so that's a good sign. So it'll be a little bit more entertaining. The volume is good enough, mate. Thank you very much for letting me know. Thank you for being on the Twitch side as well. If you have a Prime sub, please consider utilizing it, as it helps us quite a lot. So you may think I'm still in the same car, but this is his teammate, Pisano's teammate, Cardinale, and he is doing very well. 3.5 tenths off of the leader. These guys are cleaning up this championship already, right from round one. They all had huge gaps on the rest of the grid. Seems like they're trying to take that prize money home with them. We got quite the disparity of times out there too, you know. In P16 we have shoot, that's pronunciation is wrong, sorry guys. He's 2 seconds off of the leader's time. A 32.2 is fast in these conditions, but 2-second gap is quite substantial. So he may start to fall behind fairly quickly. And here we're looking at Aiden Tan, who said he wasn't going to be here this week, but ended up making it. Not too bad, 1.3 seconds off of the pole time. Very good work on his part. Is it going to rain the whole race? That's actually a really good question. I personally did not set the conditions, but it looks like based on the radar at the top of my screen that it's going to be raining for the next half an hour, and our qualifying sessions are set 1 hour before the race. So it's 5:12 p.m. In-game time means the race is at 6. So it should continue raining for the whole race. But hey, it could stop just as well. With a Ferrari in the pits with no wheels, that was kind of interesting. Never seen that before. Yeah, I guess we're going to find out in a few minutes if it's going to rain the whole race. Six minutes left in qualifying, almost a quarter of it left. We got Pisano, Zampedri, and Cardinale running the show at the top. Oh, a little bit of a wall hit there from Westland as he exited the pits. Wonder if he's going to bounce back and restart that. That was very, very unfortunate. Oh, looking at the back bumper of Zampedri, that's very, very exciting stuff right there. You're never going to see any more exciting than this for the rest of the race. That Mustang wing. I'm going to force it to move. There we go. Looking at the front bumper cam of Chase Jones. Chase Jones, 5.5, almost 0.6 off of the pace. He should be doing better. It looks like the rain is kind of dying down a little bit. Maybe it's just the camera angle. No, it's still there. It is still there. Very, very present. And Cardinale overtaking his teammates and Pedri. A BSR McLaren right behind of Nathaniel Smith Adams. Looks like Smith Adams might actually be being held up by Cardinale. And if he can stay on him... Oh no, the Porsche just pulls away out of turn 2. Getting a bit of a launch there. Surprising, to say the least. And there goes Smith Adams. I guess Cardinale had to give up on that one a little bit. I do want to pop back over and see. So Nathaniel Smith Adams is not on a personal best. No one actually is at the moment. No one's making them gains. little bit of a squirrely moment there for Shoot. Looking at the back wing of Emre Sonomez. He's a second off of the pace. Pretty good, all things considered. Lots of Ferraris out here today. Fords and Porsches really leading this attack here on this track here, but the Ferraris, quite a lot of them, not doing so hot. Not a big diversity of cars out here either, right? We got Ford, Porsche, McLaren, Ferrari, Audi, and Aston. No Mercedes out there, kind of upsetting for me. No Bentleys, of course. No BMWs. No Hondas this week. There were some Hondas in the last round. None this week. No Lambos. A little bit surprising. BMW and Ford would be nice in the rain. Ford's tough, man. I cannot drive that car in the rain. I'd be all over the place. I'd be like a crowd-hitting machine if I was in the Ford right now. But some people are really, really good with it. And they really, really can figure it out. I am not one of those people. Alright, last laps happen now. 32.2 is still the time to beat. Zampedri is so close. He's a blink away. He literally just blinked wrong in that last lap. No one out there. Lennon Bromfield is on a better lap by a 10th, but no one else out there is on a better lap at the moment. Oh, and he just actually lost it. Adam Westland 1/10 up. So yeah, I don't foresee a lot of changes here. This guy Westland, he may climb a position. He might. We'll have to see how he does. Pretty early into the lap. He's 3/10 up now, actually. So Smith Adams is gonna have to pull something out real quick at the end, a little sneaky sneak, but I don't think he's gonna do it. And Adam Westland lost that time, so now he's kind of back to square one. Couple of increases at the bottom. Bromfield 2/10 up, 3/10 up. Shoot 3/10 up. Honchik 1/10 up in P6 there. Not enough to take his teammate, but we'll see if we can do better. 4/10s for Bromfield. Let's go check him out. And he did jump up a couple positions there. Good on him. And then Shoot is 5/10 up on his time. So he actually might move up a whole bunch of positions depending on this last couple turns, how he handles it. Hopefully there's no commentator curse on the way here. And it just jumped away from him. And climbed up 2 positions for himself there. Very, very excellent work. And that's it, guys. That's it for qualifying. So we're going to pop away in an intermission here real quick until the grid lines back up. We'll be right back.
You never really come and test it, but otherwise I will smack your face like Michael Jordan does with a ball in the basket. Oh damn kid, but you didn't expect it. You never really thought that this could just happen, but now already come on and we pull out with the action. Cause people defeat those they don't get it like.
I'm doing alright, but nobody knows that I fall and sell my soul. My heart is just broken, can't hold words unspoken, but I will be okay. Yeah, I'm just falling to my darkness. Whoa, I could fight my sharpness. Whoa, I could find my love, Spending days only in trouble. Please forget the trouble. My heart's is okay, but I feel the rumble. I can't blame.
Alrighty, guys, we are back onto the starting grid here. 2.5 minutes before they go around for the formation lap. We are going to do a quick grid walk here, and something that's going to be very interesting about this grid walk is we'll actually be able to see the tires that the guys have on their cars. You may see them change to do the grid walk because they still have a minute or two to set up their, or to do their setups. But let's hop in onto the first car of the grid. We got William Pisano in P1 in the ResTech Ripardo Corsa Porsche. Looks like he's got the slicks on right now, but I'm sure he's going to be changing his setup as we are expecting rain for the first half of the race. There's his tire. You can tell, by the way, if there's the Pirelli writing on the tire, those are the slicks for the dry. And if they don't have any writing, then they're wet tires. So he's got the wet tires on now. Matthias MP3 in P2, also on the ResTech Ripardo Corsa team in the Mustang. Emmanuel Cardinale in P3 on the same team as well. Those three absolutely crushing it in the front. We're missing a livery here for Eduardo Ruggiero. I keep pronouncing his name wrong. I'm sorry for Regiole Esports. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to his livery there. Hopefully, if anyone on his team sees this, please let them know to upload it to the right collection. I did do the downloads during the practice session. In P5 with Team BSR, Baller Squad Racing, we got Chase Jones, one of our resident regulars here, and the champion of our last Sprint Series Championship for Americas. Damian Konchik in P6 from Big Brain Racing, good friend of BSR guys and of ORL. We'll see how he does there with the Mustang P6. Then we got Nathaniel Smith Adams also in BSR. In P7, Adam Westland from BSR in P8. Luke Lazama from Odyssey Esports in P9. Radovan Zankel from BSR in P10. Sylvan Amor in the pits, glitched out for some reason. I don't know if that's an issue of me or him. Lennon Bromfield P12. Emery, no livery for him either, unfortunately. Emre Sonmez also in BSR in P13. In P14 we have Sean Schutz from Logistical Nightmare E-Racing. Aiden Tan in P15 with Infinity Racing Team Downshift. Dean Solomon from Backroad GT Racing in P16 in the Porsche. Nathaniel Fever in last in Phoenix E-Racing 17th. Still not sure what is going on with 695. I hope that's not an issue on my end, but he is stuck in the pits. We'll have to ask the stewards what is up with that. We're going to pop to the front of the grid. Maybe not the front, maybe a few positions back. And go from there. Any predictions are welcome in the chat. Unintentionally, this championship has become a ResTech versus BSR kind of championship. 3 ResTech cars in the front leading the charge, and then a bunch of Baller Squad racing cars sprinkled throughout the pack. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes and who can bring it home. They're getting her into the 3rd sector there. So they're going to start forming up in just a moment. Alright, they are forming up there now, 2x2, a little bit of weaving to keep the tires heating up as much as they can. But we are about to go live. $500 on the line here in this championship in the Odyssey Premier Cup. Some of the best drivers on SimGrid, lots of intermediates and pros coming to show their stuff. Everyone wants that $250 for P1, but we're going to see who actually runs away with it. Coming up to the line, we're going to see the light go green in just a second here, and then we will be racing at Rebel Ring. Green light, and away we go. Round 2. Going into turn 1, we got the helicam clean from the front runners. A spin for BSR's Ferrari there. That not exactly sure that is Westland or Sylvan. A few cars dropping on the pack. Oh, a little bit of squeeze in there with that Ferrari and Mustang. But giving each other space again. Adam Westland falling right back. And same with Sylvan MR. Side by side, all these cars in the back here. Keeping it clean now. Looking up at the front, it looks like a couple of the ResTech cars fell back. Alright, so Sylvan Amar is the one that's in the pits, my apologies. So Adam Westland quite far back now. And I think now is a good time to hop over to the auto cam. A little spin there with that's Nathaniel Fever in the Phoenix team. So he's fallen back a little bit. We got Luke Lazama going for an overtake. Not quite on Dean Solomon. We will go back and check those replays in a moment to see what really happened with everyone. But lots of action here. So Adam number 65, I do want to see what happened to him at the beginning. We will pull up that replay in just a second here. Actually, I really do want to see it. We're going to pull up a quick replay of Adam right now. Just to double check what happened to him there. Oh, side by side with his teammates and gets rear-ended by his own teammate. Look at that. I think BSR is going to have an internal discussion after this race, don't you think? That's what you get when you have a whole bunch of apex predators fighting each other. Look at this, defending in the Audi there by Zankel on his teammate. Love the rain as well. It is a bit of a messy start, a few issues, but overall, we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna look at that replay from Nathaniel Fever as well, what happened to him there. Because we did kind of catch the tail end of it. I'm gonna hop on it right now. So there he is, the black Ferrari behind that Mustang. And does he lose it on his own? Kind of takes the curb, and yeah, totally loses on its own. Results in a little incident with Luke hopping over the curb and the Aston having to go the long way around. Not a great situation to be in. Zampedri currently has the fastest lap in P3 with a 32.8. So that'll be tough to beat. Ruggiero Eduardo in P1 is only like half a tenth away from getting that time. So being in the front, maybe he will get enough clean air to make it happen. Probably not exactly the start that the boys in Res Tech wanted, with Ruggiero taking that position. Eduardo proving that Mustang's ability in the rain is not just a drag racing car. It is a formidable GT race car. Pulling quite far away, almost half a second already. We got a stop-go penalty for car number 296 for causing a collision. Amar is being DSQ'd due to the fact that he's frozen in the pits without wheels on his car. Oh, a little drift there from Pisano, allowing Zampedri to catch up to him and Cardinale right behind him. There is barely a gap between those guys, all within a second of each other. And the gap, the P1 has grown by over a second. There was a little accident somewhere in the back. We're just going to pop open the replay right now really quick. Oh, is it a BSR crash? Kengai, you're going to have to talk to your boys. You're going to have to give him a stern talking to. Oh, and just bumps Nathaniel Smith-Adams in turn 2 there. All the incidents this week are going to be coming from BSR drivers. What do you have to say for yourselves? Sunmez doing his stop-go 10 right away, not wasting any time there. Internal beef with BSR. Gonna be a loud debrief, he says. Unnecessary drama. Hey, you know what? Like I said, they're all apex predators trying to do the best they can. Apex Predators, I don't like to hear. I'm tired of team games and team chat while they duke it out. They're keeping us entertained. That's racing. Respect the BSR boys. Absolutely. It's all around good stuff. Also, Magnus, check the check Discord when you have a second, bro. Alright, so the leader is now running away with it by almost 3 seconds. He did not have a good qualifying session, but he managed to pass the whole ResTech team and get away with start pulling away in P1. So I'm not sure what's going to be happening from the guys behind in the ResTech team, but gonna be a lot of work to try and catch up if it's even possible. Got it, okay, I appreciate it. No sweat. The front pack is legit aliens, especially the ResTech in the rain. Yeah, man, they are. And look how close they're staying together. They're like just a bunch of buddies, just going around the track, following each other, playing a bit of cat and mouse. They're like putting on ice skating shoes on tarmac and still doing great. Yeah, it's absolutely true. They are doing very, very well out there. I'm not rooting for anyone specifically, but it is just kind of a shame that they all qualified in the front and they lost the position to someone who they out-qualified, and now they are, 3 seconds behind. There's a little battle between Dean Solomon and Shoot there, which just immediately left the screen. Oh no, there it is, right there. Coming down that straight, almost side by side. The Aston is definitely faster in a straight line, but the Porsche seems to be handling this track very, very well here. Going into turn 2, let's see if... Oh yeah, Dean still holds that position. Goes a little bit wide, leaves that door open a little bit for the Aston, but carries on ahead. with Westland also now trying to get through these two to reclaim his position and work his way back up to the top. Through turn 3, a little bit, and he's flashing there, which is definitely not okay. Remember, guys, you can't be flashing your lights for no reason. Just because you're faster doesn't mean they have to get out of your way, unless it's a blue flag. So he'll be trying his best to get through these cars as safely as possible to get back up. Keep in mind, for anyone who is watching who doesn't know, the top 20 in our championships get points, so everyone on the grid is going to continue to get points towards this championship. So if anyone does, you know, miss a race, it does put them a little bit ahead. And as well, if you participate in all 5 races, your worst race results gets dropped, as we have a drop round. If you only participate in 4, your worst result is the one you missed. And for some of these guys, this could end up being the worst result. Alright, so we are 1/4 through this race now. Oh, a little close there for the Aston on the backside of Dean Solomon. Oh, he does go wide, leaving that door open for both of those cars to get past him, so he's going to have to continue fighting to try and get back. Now you're looking at the on-board camera. Lots of water splashing against that windshield, making it very hard to see. Oh, getting real close. So there goes the Ferrari passing both of them, and Dean gets the inside line on the Aston to try and reclaim his position. Very good work there from all those guys. Going to the heli cam. How do they get through this? Turn 3 side by side. Dean does take it a little bit slower. The Aston is able to claim that position again. Car 74 in the pits. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe he's serving a penalty and it's over now. Maybe he's got some damage we didn't notice. I don't see anything in the replays. So this is the kind of closest battle on track. We will go look at another one very soon, but this is a very exciting moment here in this race. We're gonna pop on over to Pisano and Zampedri up here. They are 4 seconds behind the leader. And I'm not sure what the policy is with these guys, if they prioritize who's fastest or they just let them fight. But that Porsche is doing a really good job sticking to the backside of Zampedri, and if he is faster, you'd almost want to just let him by, so that way they can try and close that 4-second gap. Obviously I'm not telling him what to do, but it's one of those things where you just wonder about the strategy out there. Hopping on over at Aiden Tam for a little bit, chasing down Luke Luzama. Alright, everyone, the pit window is now open, so they have a 20-minute window to go and serve their pit stops. And this is where a lot of the strategy is going to come into play. We have lost 2 cars in this race so far. One due to, I guess, just a glitch in the game where he was just stuck in the pits with no wheels. And then the other one, I guess he maybe just fell too far behind in his collision and didn't want to fight back up to the front. Remember what we say in our races I just said a few minutes ago, but for the top 20 get points, so there's no reason to quit at this point. And you only get points if you complete 75% of the laps. So obviously those first 2 guys didn't want to do that, and we are almost at the halfway point, so at this point it would be impossible to serve that many laps. But here we are, top 15. Some of the fastest drivers out there on SimGrid, leading the charge at the front. And we'll see who makes the first pit stop. I'd be very curious to know who decides to pit first. I don't think you'll see the front runners pit for a little bit, just because they wouldn't want to be caught up in any sort of traffic or lapping situation. But it is quite a long stop, and there's not a lot of people behind, so they could safely stop and still be okay, I think, for a little while. Well, Luke Luzama is in the pits, and he's most likely going to do just a fuel up. What you guys think? How big is that gap going to get before the end of the race? You think we're going to see like a 12-second gap? 13, 15-second gap maybe, given how fast he's created that gap in the first 24 minutes. There was a little collision recently between 20 and 104. I will go back and check that out. Alright. Almost at the halfway point here. Almost there. 5 minutes into the pit window, only one car has completed the pit stop. Giving him lots and lots of clean air, so it's probably going to be good for him to try and catch back up. Greetings, I just started out on ACC. What a learning curve. Oh, yeah, you're telling us, man. It is a learning curve, but you're in the right league for learning because we have lots of things to offer with coaching. We have tutorials. We have a great community, beginner-friendly races. We got rookie championships for anyone who's brand new to the game, where you can learn so much. So make sure you get signed up. On Wednesday nights for Americas is our rookie race, and on Sundays, so tomorrow, is our EU championship, and there is a rookie division in that as well. So yeah, get signed up. But yeah, definitely welcome to the league. Leading order still the same. Ruggiero. Okay, you have a Discord where I can check it out. Yeah, man, it should be in the description there, but it's discord.gg/Odyssey Racing League. There's a link right there. Posted to YouTube. I don't think that posted to Twitch, did it? Weird, the chat is not working for Twitch. Let me just check something. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Let me just comment it on Twitch here real quick. There, that should be the link for you right there. Yeah, just make sure you follow all the registration steps and then you can get signed up with us right away. Can't stress enough, we do have such a great community. You'll definitely find help in there for anything if you need it. Even though you're new, it's all good. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. So anyways, going back to the standings so far, we are almost halfway through the race, halfway through the pit window. No one else is pit except for Luke Lizama, who is, because of so, fallen behind, but is probably able to get some time made up there. A couple hours in the pits right now, not quite served yet. Looks like one is either just showing up or leaving. 23 of Aiden Tan. And 554 of Radovan Zankel. But from the top we have Ruggiero, Zampidri, Pisano, Cardinale, Konchik making up your top 5. Then Chase Jones and Nathan Smith Adams of BSR in 6th and 7th, and Lennon Bromfield in P8. Westland climbing back up to P9. Ooh, weird move from that Porsche there in the background of Pisano. And Shoot making up your top 10. 3 pit stops done. The leader is coming into the pit lane now. And we'll see who else decides to follow him. No advantages will really be given here to the ResTech team members for any skipping of the pits. And according to the weather report at the top, it's going to be raining for the rest of the race, so most of these guys will probably not change their tires. So we are now in the final half of the race officially of round 2 at Red Bull Ring. Half an hour to go. Almost, it looks like with those 2 in the pits right now, we have about half or just about a third of the grid doing their valid stops. And I'm being visited by my dog. Alright guys, all well so far. No major penalties, kind of surprisingly, happening right now in the race. Everything has been pretty clean from all parties. So almost half the cars served their pit stops now. We got most of the cars in the pits. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left to enter the pit lane. "27 minutes remaining." Any predictions for the top 5 guys? You think it's going to continue the way it is? You think the same guys are going to be at the top that were leading the pack the whole race? Or do we think there's going to be some crazy stuff that happens in the last half an hour? So looks like we have Schutz, Cardinales, and Pedri still needing to enter the pit lane. Konchik has just entered the pit lane and he will be getting his pit done. Sunmez is exiting the pits now. Lazama is in P10. I'm not sure if he'll stay there or not, depending on the remaining drivers to pit. Schutz is now in the pits. And Zampidri and Cardinale are still racing around the track. So they obviously had a little bit more fuel if they're able to go this long without stopping. So for all we know, that could be where the disadvantage was, since Ruggiero was running away from them in the beginning but did an earlier pit. So we'll see if these guys can have some faster laps after they get out of the pits. Zampidri's entering the pits. Cardinale now behind him. Shoot exiting the pits. And seems everything is starting to sort of fall in place a little bit. And I guess we're also going to see here, because it's still showing Zampidri as, or Cardinale as P1. Looking to number 16 to see where he comes out, as these guys are hopefully going to leave the pit soon. Ruggiero is coming down the start straight. In P3, is he going to end up in P1? Yes, he is. He passes them both while they're in the pits. And they haven't even started driving out yet. There goes 104 of Zampidri. And Cardinale, both leaving the pits now. So everyone has done their pit stop with 4 minutes left in the pit window, so that's all good. And now we're just going to see how the race goes. The Res Tech guys have not really left each other's sides. They've been buddies the whole time. So there's a 10-second gap now between P1 and 2. And we are just under 2/3 into the race. Which leads me to believe that there is going to be a 15-second gap at the end. Which is pretty substantial. And I do see that gap continuing to grow so far. So I don't think these guys are putting down laps good enough on lower fuel to start catching up. We do have, though, 18 people watching, 8 on YouTube and 10 on Twitch. So if you are watching, throw down some predictions, ask some questions, get involved. Also, those 10 of you guys on Twitch right now, if you have a Prime sub that you have not used, please use it. Help us out a little bit. Just a couple bucks goes a long way around here. Trying to manage server costs and prize pools that are self-funded. We're giving everything back to the community, man. We make money, we're giving it right back to the community. Everything winds up in the hands of drivers somehow. Giveaways, server costs, you name it. Actually, that gap is shrinking just a little bit. A couple tenths have been made back by Zampedri. So we'll see if that was a fuel thing or if he's just really dialing in and getting comfortable with the track. Be very curious to see if that keeps going. And now he's under 10 seconds, so there's something going on with Ruggiero. Now, I'm not saying we're going to see that whole 10 seconds come down, but maybe we'll see that gap shrink to 5 instead of 10. Which could wind up being a good thing for the ResTech boys.
Pit window is now closed.
So the pit window's closed, but like I said, everyone's already done their pit window, so we're good. Not sure what happened to Bromfield's. I'm gonna go back and see if there's any replays that we missed for 210. He's fallen behind quite a bit, unless he took time to repair damage or served another penalty. So the leader right now is coming up to some lapped traffic. He's coming up to Bromfield. So we'll see if that slows him down at all. A little side-by-side action with the ResTech boys. Slowing each other down a little bit. Having that gap grow. The gap is shrinking for P1 and 2, but the gap is growing from 2 to 3. So Zampedri really grinding it out. And Eduardo might actually be a little bit slowed down by the 210 forward of Bromfield. Hard to really tell, but he is losing a bit of time and he hasn't caught up to him yet, and I'm sure he's much faster. And Bromfield is in 15th overall right now. So who knows, guys? Maybe we'll see some dynamics switch up in the last laps here in this race. 17 minutes to go. 9-second gap instead of the almost 11-second gap that was there before. Some blue flag action coming up on the radar. And this is just it, man. This might be all part of the adventure. So Eduardo is now right up to, or almost right up to Bromfield. who I'm surprised we can't see quite yet on the map, but he's there. Just outside of the frame. There he is. Two blank Mustangs. The gap continues to shrink between P1 and 2. Now we're into the 8-second range. Looks like the overtake is going to be happening right into turn 2. Bromfield putting up no fight whatsoever to hold up the blue flag car. Or hold up as the blue flag car. So I'm sure we'll see that type of respect when the next guys come up to him. Really didn't slow down Zampidri at all. The amount of time that's being lost right now is not really enough to worry about. Zampidri can just take it easy. Eduardo can just take it easy until the end of the race. And carry out that P1 all the way to the end while being careful. Guys, we're getting very, very close. We are less than 15 minutes to go. Oh, there's a spin in the background there. Looks like it's Dean Solomon. Let's go check out what happened to him. He had Adam Weston right behind him. And it looks like there was a collision, but and just sent it. Yeah, that's not going to be good for Adam. Adam Westland might see a penalty coming up here in a little bit. Not a great situation to be in. Alright, on the wing of Aiden Tan. He's got to shoot right behind him. Putting the pressure on. This is actually now the closest battle on track. As we're approaching the final 10 minutes. Gap between P1 and 2 is still shrinking slowly, but not enough to make it count. But the gap has really grown between second and third of 3.2 seconds, it looks like. I don't think we'll see any more blue flag action happen for the rest of the race, with the exception of 210, who is now kind of in the middle of second and third, it looks like on the map. Or between third and fourth? It's been overtaken, that's all. So a 5-second penalty for, 10-second penalty for car 65. And that would be for his hit against Dean Solomon into that last turn. Final minutes of the race. The gap between P1 and 2 keeps shrinking so much. It's been shrinking at a good rate lately, so there could be something going on there that we don't even know about. Maybe P1 didn't take enough fuel. A little bit close there on the back of Tan. Aston Martin was almost bump drafting. He's definitely got the pace to look for a pass, so it's just a matter of finding that gap. Goes to the inside into turn 1. Will he stick it? They go side by side. A little bit of a bump. Tan goes wide. Not sure if there was sufficient overlap or not, but that seemed pretty clean on the Aston's part. But Tan still retains that position as they keep going for another battle. I do kind of want to watch that from the helicam and just see what happened there. Real quick, we're going to watch that from the helicam. The Aston definitely starts getting a bit of a pull. And at the turn-in point, yeah, he is definitely alongside, so he may have not quite made it, but hey, there you are. There's the inside of the Aston, the big roaring V8 that it has. And then they have BSR of Emery Sonman? No, 65. Ooh. It is Westland right behind them with his 10-second penalty. Unfortunate 10-second penalty may actually put him at least one position down, maybe two, depending on how Sunmez does. A little side-by-side collision into turn 1 again between those two. It looks like Shoot is taking it a little wide. So I want to watch that replay again, but there's a three-way battle going on here that I don't really want to look away from. Oh, and Tan, almost takes out Westland, but kind of fixes him at the same time. So we're gonna go back and watch that. '23 and 13. Hope this isn't the original one. Hopefully this is the second one. Oh, this is the first one. Sorry guys, I'm gonna double replay here. So we already saw this one. I'm sorry, I cannot cancel a replay once I've started it. So if that was that one, then maybe it's this one? Yeah, this is definitely different. So the Aston goes to the inside again. Oh, that's kind of tough. It looks like the Aston would have been fine. I don't know. I think it's just hard racing, but we'll see if a stewards decide on a penalty for that at all. Hmm. 4.5 minutes to go. Last 3 laps, I believe, maybe 4. The leader just crossed the line, so it could be 3. Still close battles to be had. Not showing the right car when it's the onboard camera. Going to turn 1. Westland seems to have decent pace, but not quite enough to get around the Aston. It looks like the driver in P1 is going around for the 3rd last lap. Still has about a 5.5 second lead on P2, so he should be okay for these last 2 laps, but 5 seconds can change very quickly. We might actually see an extra lap, so a 4th lap left. So we might have 2 more after this. A little bit longer than I expected. Yeah, it looks like given the amount of time left, there's still going to be 2 more laps left in this race. Not enough time to slow it down to hold back another lap. Eduardo doing well, but he is slowing down quite a lot. There's less than 5 seconds to P2 now. And I don't know if it's that he's slowed down or if it's that Zampedri's sped up, because the gap between him and his teammates is increasing just as much. So Zampedri is doing very, very well. So we're very curious to see what happens. Looks like Dean Solomon is having a bit of a battle in the back right now with Aiden Tan. Aiden Tan's starting to fall behind after his little kerfuffle with the cars ahead. So we're coming around the last couple turns in for P1 right now. Let's see if he opts in for trying to slow down, which is a really bad idea, but you know, maybe he's lost track of time. He's tired after an hour of racing. No, he's gonna go for it. One more lap to go. We are on the final lap, guys. And Zampedri's done an excellent job trying to close that gap, but it just wasn't quite enough to make it work. Adam Westland, I think he's still going to hold that position because Tan is over 10 seconds behind him. So very close, but hey, you know, it was a good race to be had. And Tan is also pulled away from Dean Solomon. So we're going to stop on the auto cam and watch the P1 driver for a moment here as he cycles around the last half of the track. Eduardo holding it together. You can see the other Mustang in the rear view. Knowing that he's caught up almost fully. He caught up by like 5 seconds. You know, that's no joke. That is absolutely no joke there. Four turns to go. 2 turns to go now. Very, very good racing here from Eduardo and Mattia and William and everyone else in the grid, honestly. It was a great race. Here comes down the final stretch of track. Big sweep. Eduardo with the P1 in this second round. Zampedri P2. William Pisano coming around P3 with Cardinale right behind him. Damian Conchit coming around in P5 with Chase Jones right behind him. Nathan Smith Adams coming around for his P7 spot. Radovan Zenkel will be coming around the last couple turns now. Big gap. Lennon Brumfield did just cross the line as well. Radovan Zenkel slowing down a little bit. Taking it easy. Really doesn't want to make a mistake here. He's going very, very slow. Not sure what he's waiting for. There you go. Luke Lazama coming around the last turn now as well. Behind him, a little battle between Chute and Westland. We're going to check that out. Let's see any drop potential. Not quite. So Chute 10th. Adam Westland P11. Aiden Taylor will be coming around. And then Dean Solomon in the background there. And Emre Sanmez 2 round out. And we're going to go to a quick intermission now, guys. We'll be right back.
We're fighting fire. The way you push my buttons just when we're fighting fire. When two forces of nature collide. We're fighting fire. Can't help but feel the temperature rise. We're fighting fire. We're fire.
Alright, everyone, we're just watching Dean Solomon finish his last lap of the race, or not his last lap, his little victory lap there. Just want to thank everyone for being here to watch the second round of the Odyssey Premier Cup. And the next round is actually next weekend, believe it or not. It is a little bit of an off schedule, but we tried our best to sort of balance everything that we possibly could. So round 3 will be on October 9. Sorry, round 3, not round 2. Round 3 will be on October 26th, and it'll be at Kyalami, which means that the rest of the championship will be lining up with our schedule for our sprint championships. So be sure to check it out. Congratulations to Eduardo Ruggiero, and if I am pronouncing that wrong, Anto Cola, let me know. I'd love to make sure I'm not pronouncing it wrong. So Kyle on me next weekend, same time, same place. Thank you guys very much for being here.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And enjoy the rest of your Saturday.